Hello there, how's it going? Ame Gakita there. Alright, before I start on the line advice for voice actor along the line, there is a few disclaimer that I have to put out just in case, because if I don't put it out, people will be saying like I'm just making things up. So number one, I am not a voice actor, I'm a VTuber. Just because I attend voice acting in Japan doesn't make me a voice actor, alright? It just so happened that I know some voice acting stuff. That was all. But then again, it is more so that there will be some people saying that I'm trying to teach people how to be a voice actor along the line. But I can give you some light advice. It's just all and life advice. It is all my speculative thought based on my experience. You can take it as a random check with a huge pin also and throw the sword at the screen if you need to. But at the end of the day, it is something that you guys have to understand that for voice actor, it is a lot of things that people need to consider. So if you're here just to say how to be a voice actor, and you came to the wrong classroom, just because this classroom is talking about voice acting doesn't mean that we are talking about the same thing, alright, young man, young lady? Alright, that is just only number one. Number two is that normally I would put out like a lot of my random chat. I will put up a source, or I will put up the source next to me in the whiteboard mode to showcase the things that I tend to talk about or highlight about. But this time around, I am going to put all the stuff in the description below because I realized that most of the source that I'm using is mostly based on past random chat. So if you guys are interested on those that I used to talk about voice acting or stuff that voice actor tend to make mistake on, not talking about whatsoever. It's more so like why I feel like a lot of voice actors talk about this or that and it's just totally ridiculous in my view. So if you want to listen to those kind of random chat, link in the description below for you guys to check it out, or maybe you want to check it out after this video, by all means go ahead. So now 2 minutes of the time, let's start up the proper life lesson. Number one, make sure that when you do voice acting for an anime game or whatsoever, make sure the first thing you have to do is research. I'm not saying like research on just whatsoever. It's like there's so many things that a lot of people need to take note, is that you have to research not only the anime or cartoon or whatsoever or even movie that you're going to voice your voice over, but actually more so that what is the character you're going to voice. If the character is a male character and you're a female, you want to make the boy look young, look energetic, look whatsoever, or maybe an introvert, you want to start it along the line, make sure do a proper research on what the character is. Before you start out the script or whatever, they will give you a script as well as the back-end story or setting to the character. I'm not sure about the Western people, but this is based on what the Japanese taught me. So often more than not, we do receive a script, and there is quite a few things that they will highlight to you. They don't just show you the script for one specific character, they show you a set of character, so that when you do read the script, you have to be understanding of how the interaction is with other characters. So let's say for example, if one the character is an introvert and B is an extrovert, so how are you going to voice the introvert character? Do you want to sound timid? Do you want to sound a bit hesitant, or someone is just murmuring along the line? As well as that, if the character is a male, are you going to make your muscular voice? If you're a female, if it has to sound cute or maybe a bit timid along the line. There is so many things to consider, and often more than not, I don't see that on the Western side. There are some nice voice actor for Westerner, but it's just that with a lot of people that making noise on Twitter like about, hey, we don't like listening to Western voice actor, or a lot of Western voice actor is not nice along that. Often more than not, is the most simple thing is that a lot of them is just reading off a script. There's like just basically, oh, this character is this or that, I'm just gonna let my voice let over. Yeah, don't get me wrong, voice acting is just basically giving your voice to a character, but they forgot that this is a voice acting. Just like in real life, why a lot of movie, a lot of people who is known as actor or actresses or in Hollywood or whatsoever, it's like when they get the award, it's because of the way they portrayed the character. So why is voice acting? In Japan, the one thing we do learn is that you are trying to give life to the character that is fiction. It's not real whatsoever. Yes, it doesn't exist. Yes, but why a lot of people always have the misconception that those characters in Japan anime is considered alive or whatsoever, is that it's the way the character came to life. But here you don't see that on the Western side or the English sub, it's or English dub or whatever along the line. So the reason is very simple. The Japanese people are very good at portraying, like especially the voice actor, not all the Japanese people that I know, is that they are very good at bringing the character to life, to make it as if it's a real person, as if it's a real thing, this anime is a real world along the line. If they can make people in the Western side to be so mad about using DEI word or whatsoever into it, then I think the voice actor did a great job on bring character to life. But what a lot of people tend to forget is that the one that actually start talking about bring character to life is actually not the Japanese first, it's actually the Western side. The late Robin Williams, a comedian as well as an actor, had been well known for a lot of the voice acting work, especially Aladdin Genie. I mean, like, if Genie can sound so fun, energetic, and whatsoever, it just proves to show how the late Robin Williams is able to portray a character to be fun, energetic, and emotional. Even at time when you go and check out some of the emotional side, like when Genie is sad or something, you can just feel the emotion. You can hear that he's sad or whatever. You don't just always, oh, I'm just feel sad. It's like if you say you feel sad, like, no, I definitely feel sad. You don't feel the emotion at all. You have to portray a bit of emotion today. You have to sound, you know, I'm actually not very happy about this, you know. Does that sound a little bit different to you guys? Yeah, a little bit, right? So the thing is, right, when it comes to voice acting, you are acting the role. You are acting the thing. You are just only at the end of the day add your voice to the character as well as yourself into the character. So if you can't do that, you're just reading off the script, then that's basically mean that you are not doing the right job. So I know some people will say like, how is the Japanese able to portray themselves into a character, or even though they're just reading off a script? No, they make it that they are the character, and the character themselves are reading off the script. So if you can't see that issue, you're just saying that you are the one who reading the script and the character is having your voice, then that's not voice acting anymore. It's just basically you giving your voice to the character. That's all. There is no emotion, there is no whatsoever, a lot of things. And often more than that, when I say that you need to do a lot of research, is that you have to understand before you go and watch, like have the anime or whatever record your voice, you have to check what is the character that you're going to voice. Is the character, like I mentioned, an introvert or whatever along the line, and then you have to, if you need to know more about, if you can't add a role, go and do online research, see how a person will add to it, see how a person able to have that whatsoever emotion. Like look at, I mean, I look at Joker and the movie where the actor himself actually go and do a little bit of research on how mental emotion can affect a person, and he do it and make sure that he at the actual role. You have to do a lot of real life research. Like if you're not introvert and you're gonna give your voice to an introvert, go and understand what the introvert mindset work. You have to have a lot of scenario, you have to a lot of things, and then you learn from it. Then you apply that experience, that knowledge into the role. That's what the actual research is. But another type of research that a lot of voice actors definitely need to add into their life advice is technically check what the character they are not just only the character they're going to voice over, but also the anime or games they are going to voice over. So what does that mean? So if the character is like, let's say something that is a lot against people mindset of like the I will or whatsoever. So let's say for example, if the anime character is a very cute young lady, a Japanese young lady that is going around making fun of everyone along the line, and the anime is just basically that the young little girl is just a sota lover along the line, then who will like it? I mean, like when it comes to like PDF, obviously people will say, oh, that's not a good thing. Yeah, people will saying a lot of things, and then let's say for example, if the young little girl is actually a very sexy lady and with a very attractive body, and maybe like it's going to give some fan service in the anime along the line. If you're a voice actor and you don't like that, don't voice over it. Simple. You don't go around and say like, oh, you voice over it and I'm a voice actor of this, and then nowhere you gone with the idea that, hey, I didn't know it was a fan service game, so I'm not gonna voice anymore for this character. Like, dude, I've seen a lot of people making noise about it. I believe there is one reason why I will advise you guys to check out Hero Hero video. I will put out the link in the description below, where apparently a lot of the English dub got like people making noise about. I think it was Snow Break. Like people are talking about how the game is a fan service and they don't like fan service along the line and they are not happy about it. And the voice actor, actor or actresses, not one of them, it's just a group of them apparently, decided to say, hey, we are going to get out of the game. And out of nowhere, the game developer or the game company say, all right, no more English dub. Not only was it celebrated by a lot of people saying that, oh, we showed them, but it's also being celebrated by a lot of gamers, a lot of fans, because it's that no more bad English dub along the line. So it is really proving that sometimes English dub is really bad at doing their job, apparently. I mean, like, if you have a good voice and you have a good personality and a good whatsoever and give a good voice, then people will support you. But if you go to the point of saying that you refuse to work and just because the game is fan service and you just realize that after voice over it and you realize it's a fan service, then yeah, a lot of hoo-ha gonna happen. I mean, like, don't just say that, oh, you want a job and you want to get voiceover and then you decide to use it's done by a Japanese game company or a Japanese anime studio, and if you're able to land the job, you can put it in your resume. Hey, it doesn't work that way, okay? Once you put it in your resume, just because you voice over it, people will go and research about what you did. So let's say, for example, like for the Snowbreak, if some of the characters say, oh, they used to be English voice over for Snowbreak, and now Snowbreak has decided to cut tie with the Western voice dub, then obviously people will say that, oh, you used to be working in there, but now you're no longer working in it. So why is there no English dub for Snowbreak anymore? Well, because the voice actor feels the work. わ、素晴らしいですよね。なぜだろうわからない。So at the end of the day, right? If you can't or you don't like the character or the anime or the game itself, don't go and voice it. Just because it's like you need a job or whatever, if you can't handle it, don't handle it. Don't do it. Like, why would you go and think about doing it? This is one of the stupid advice that a lot of people tend to overlook, is that if you like, it's the same thing as that you say you don't like McDonald's, that's because they whatsoever genocide or whatever, and you go and apply for a job in McDonald's. And then you start complaining noise about McDonald's. It's like, if I'm the employees at McDonald's, I'll be kicking you out immediately, okay? So a lot of things that you have to understand is that when you do research, it's not just only the character. You have to research about the company or whatever. And let's say, for example, if the company is a black company or a company that has a lot of red flag, that's also another good thing if you do a research and you decide to give your voice to the character. I mean, like, do a proper research, a lot of things. There's so many things to research on. You just don't go out of nowhere say that, oh, hey, because it's a game, fan service game, I'm not going to voice my character anymore. Like, dude, bye-bye. There is better option out there. And more so is that the Japanese counterpart of the game apparently are not very happy with the Western people about using their agenda or work or DI whatsoever. Like, dude, the one that got a lot of people baffled, even when I asked one of my friends in Japan about the issue about letting the character race be voiced by the actual race itself, and they actually agree with one funny point that I've been pointing out throughout a lot of Japanese anime dub along the line, is that apparently Western people want the right race to voice the right character race. So for example, like, what does that mean? So the thing is, right, a lot of people have the idea that, hey, we have to have, like, let's say for example, if this character is let's say a black person, so we can't have a white person voice over it. We have to get a black people to voice it, because a black person and a white person does not sound the same, and it will be considered cultural accurate as well as appropriate to be voiced. So getting a black person to voice a black person, that is what a lot of people seems to pushing for. And what a lot of people tend to forget is that voice acting is acting the role. So if you get a black person to voice a black character, if they feel that is correct, yeah, I can see what that they are going for, don't get me wrong. The only thing is that if you get a black person who is not very good at voice acting and he voice over the character and sending out nowhere the anime became worse, And they could actually make it easier if they get a white person who voiced the character. I mean, like, dude, a lot of past anime, a lot of black character, a lot of white character being voiced by not their race themselves. There is like black person voicing white character, and there is white person voicing black character. Like, what is their issue with it? So the thing is, right, at the end of the day, it's not about the race, but actually the voice. If you can't think that there is like, if their mindset is like, oh hey, is that white people doesn't sound that way, or a black person doesn't sound that way, is that, dude, there are some white people who sound like black people and black people sound like white people. So does that mean that they are not actually based on their race? No. It's actually, when you're voicing a character, you have to add in not just the race, you have to add in the tone of the person. If the tone, if you don't have the right tone for that specific race, then don't do it. I mean, like, everyone have a right tone, and there's also people who have not the right tone. So if the character need to have that tone, you have to ensure that when you do the acting for it, you have to ensure your tone is right for that character. And often more than not, a lot of people tend to forget about it. So to me, when people ask me like, what is the issue with race and voice acting, is that people is just making a big hoo-ha of it. I mean, I can understand with people saying that, oh, some characters will be voiced by, let's say, a Mexico characters will be voiced by Mexico, a black characters will be voiced by a black character along the line. I mean, like, their mindset is not wrong if you saying like, in real, like, it's the same thing. Their mindset is based on that. In real life, if the character is a Mexico person, then they should get a Mexico actor, because they will look the part, they will sound the part. But that is if you are going with a real life situation. So if you are going with a voice acting, everything can be attuned to it. You can get someone who is speaking Spanish and not able to speak proper English and get over it. It's like, what? So the thing is, right, at the end of the day, right, if there is a real actual voice actor who is able to sound Spanish and act the role, that's one thing. Get the person to voice over it. You don't just go around and say, oh, the person is not Mexico or Spanish speaking person, and just decided because that he can speak Spanish, he should be able to take the role. No. The issue with a lot of people making noise about race in issue is that they say that the character must be voiced by the actual role, and now a lot of people who lost their job, a lot of voice actors lose their job or their option, like Bro ZD, I believe that person, like Bro ZD, make noise about the character, that he agreed that character must be voiced by the PC race, and when he get less option of character that he can voice, he start making noise. It's like, dude, you read what you saw, that is come out on your own. So the thing is, right, if he is able to voice a character that is something else or someone else, and that he's good at the other character, because of the race issue, now you don't get the option, that's on them. The voice actor in Western has been so crazy with the work or race or whatever, is that they forget about the fundamental of voice acting. Giving a voice to the character and make it come alive. Once you add DI, work or race or whatever to voice acting, you lost it. They lost it. It's so instant. And more so is that I always come up, the thing that I say to my Japanese friend is that they agree with me entirely. And you guys, if you guys think that it's not wrong, write in the comment below. And the thing is, why is it that a lot of Japanese characters are voiced by black, white, or Western other people when they are not like, if they say that if it's a Japanese character, it should be voiced by a Japanese character, right? Why is it voiced by a Western or black or whatever? Like, dude, you're not Japanese. Why are you voicing the English dub? So we be getting the Japanese people to speak English for it because it's voiced by the actual Japanese people who is able to speak English along the line? Dude. Just because Japan is ASEAN doesn't mean that everyone should be, like, every character in anime should be voiced by a ASEAN. It doesn't mean that a Chinese people should go and voice a Japanese character or Malay character or Filipino character along the line. It's that if the character is a Filipino, get a Filipino voice it. If it's a Japanese character, get a Japanese character to voice it. Like, why is the Western people getting their leg into the Japanese character along the line? Like, do they know the accent? Do they know the voice? Do they know the right tone? Do they know a lot of things? No! So this whole audio about race or DI or whatever anything into the voice character is just throw it out the window. we are at like a lot of Japanese people, why are they able to come up with the best voice for the character? And even if the character is not of their race, they were still able to bring the character to life with the right tune, with the right accent, with the right accent. Is that because they do their own research as well as they don't think about DI fan service or whatever? If even a lot of anime Japan, like when it came to anime and games in Japan, even the voice actor loves the character they are voicing over or another character that their co-worker voice over, because the character is not only is the voice actor able to bring life to the character as well as they find it cute, handsome, or attractive along the line. So if the character doesn't look attractive, they will be like, eh. Like they don't like it at all. It's very simple, it's fundamental understanding. So that's the reason why a lot of Japanese voice actors are being supported by a lot of fans. And even if they talk about AI replacing them, well, a lot of fans are not happy about AI for the Japanese side. Is that the Japanese people are taking pride and effort into doing their voiceover. Even when I was learning, like when I go to some anime studio to do kenkaku, which actually mean to do a bit of study tour, I learned a lot from them. Even when I was living in back in 2008, when I go to Japan for the first time, or when I go to, when I was living in Japan for 6 years, and there's a freaking small anime studio near my house. Just a 2-minute walk, and it's a freaking anime studio. My house must be very, very good at that time, but they allow me to learn a lot of voice acting style. I was able to learn a lot of things. Even the 10, 20 years, almost 20 years gap, they still got a lot of things that I wasn't aware of, and I learned a lot of new stuff. I learned a lot of new things, and the changes of anime voice over the 10 years, 20 years along the line, it's so much different. So the only issue is that the Japanese people took pride in giving their voice to a character and acting the role. Do I see that in the Western side? No, they just think that, oh, I give my voice to the character, and just because that, oh, hey, I'm a VTuber, I'm gonna give my voice to a character in a game called Yakuza. Oh, you better shut up because I sound like the character. You guys can be mad, but my voice is the worst, but yeah, I give the character to character, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Don't like me yapping, yeah, that's how the person sound to me, okay, in the game. So it's a good thing I didn't play Yakuza. I'm not saying like I'm not a huge fan of Yakuza. I used to play some Yakuza 1 and 2. But the thing is, right, a lot of Western people always come up with the weirdest thing about whatsoever, and yet a lot of people always, like, if you go and check out a lot of gamers, do they listen to the Western voiceover or do they listen to the Japanese voiceover? Majority people I come across is people voicing over, like they choose the Japanese voiceover because it sounds live, and there is some people who choose the Korean one, the Chinese one along the line, but Western one, not saying a lot, but there is a niche for it. But the thing is, right, a lot of people tend to choose Japanese one because it sounds so alive, it sounds so cute, it sounds so attractive along the line. But I'm not saying like some of the Western are bad. There are some good Western voiceover. It's just that when you add in DI word or whatever, and mostly it's from the Western side, yeah, they lost it. Like immediately they lose what any respect I have for them, and to me, I'm even in the game just give me like English sub or English dub immediately, I'll just watch some of the title in English and I just play it in Japanese because the Japanese sounds so much better to my ears, especially when I'm wearing a headset. So if the Western people, like, this is a live advice, so my advice for you guys is that don't out of nowhere adding political agenda, ideology or whatsoever into the voice. Like, dude, the character is based on a work. It's a work of fiction. It's not real, and it's how you bring your voice to the character that make it alive. If you're not happy about all that, or you don't voice over it, don't be a voice actor. Go and do other things, be activities, or stop doing protests along the line. Why are you all making voice acting along the line? Like, dude, if you're not happy, don't do it. It's just because people are keep on making noise over and over again that it just pisses me so off, and it got a lot of like Japanese voice actor or actresses like, what the hell is wrong with a Western voice actor? Like, is it so hard not to include whatsoever you like stuff or agenda or whatsoever into anime and game. It's just that you are voicing a character. You are making it alive. Whether you if you don't like the fan service, then you should have done your research and don't apply for it. You should have rejected it if they ask for you, because the simple reason is just say, oh, it's a fan service game. I'm not a fan of it. That's simple. You can always ask, or maybe you can always say, but people always make noise and hoo-ha whatever. So the thing is, right, once you start making noise, people like a lot of people will say that, hey, if they want the Western voiceover, maybe they can use AI. Why? Because the thing is, right, a lot of people always say that AI is not an end all be all along the line, and I do agree AI should be used as a tool. But with so how the localization in the Western been so bad, obviously people will say, hey, localization using AI, yeah, that's a good thing. It's because the localizer did a poor job, and now the voice actor trying to do a poor job as well. If they get replaced by AI and they start making noise about it, dude, that's on them. If you did a good job, if you do your best in a voice actor and make your character alive and people like you for it, that means something. People will defend you and people will say that AI is not a good thing. It's because you did a poor job that people will say that maybe AI may be a better option, because it's the second option right now. It's not about getting a new person or new cast to voice over it. It's because you can't do a good job. So my life advice again, do a research and then make sure that if you like it, you do it. If you don't like it, just reject it. And as well as don't add in whatsoever like DI or whatsoever into the anime or game that you're going to work in. If you once you add in, that's it. And especially like if you're in social media, people talk about all these things. Best advice, don't interact with those things. I know some people, like even myself, is always having the issue of people asking me about politics and what's not. I got so many views, but the thing is, right, it's the same thing as when it comes to voting. I will just say that you are just only choosing between a P and a put, and it just depends on whether you prefer the put or do you prefer the P. That was simple, nothing more, nothing less. You at the end of the day, you still get a very bad thing. You get something, you're gonna get yourself 30. That's all. And if you're not happy about it, deal with it. That's life. But yeah, I don't understand why people always make the who ho ha whatsoever along the line, and end up when people say that, oh, we are not going to have English sub or English dub along the line, and they start making noise. Yeah, you did it to yourself, and you add all those against, and people will be like not very happy about it. And obviously, when people are not happy about it, they will be like, yeah, we are not going to do it. It's the same thing. If you don't like it, you don't do it. Other people will have the same option to do it. If they don't like the voice actor, they will not ask the voice actor to voice over it. That's simple. So if you can't get out of it, don't be a voice actor. That's my advice. But if you want to be a voice actor, don't add in propaganda, don't add in political to your life. Once you add it in, that's it. You're going to have a lot of people going after you. So I hope this is a very good life advice for most of the people who are out there. I mean, like, if you're listening as not as a voice actor, you just want to understand what is the voice acting thing. Yeah, I will maybe one day talk about voice acting, about how I learned about voice acting in Japan. Not saying I learned a lot, a few points. Normally I've been repeating it in my live stream when people ask me like voice acting, and I do know a few. And the thing is, right, there's so many things to voice acting. It's just that people tend to overlook the most simple thing. And to me, even like VTubing, right, I am giving my voice to my character. So in a way, while I'm not a voice actor, I am technically doing something as a voice actor. I'm giving life to my character. If my character feel alive to you guys, then that means that I'm doing a good job as a person. But then again, this is just a speculative thought, a random chat. So if whether you agree or not, you or disagree or not, just write in the comment below what all the things that you say. I mean, like, normally I do point out a few things, or maybe show screen in between, about the source I come about. But again, a lot of source came to my own random chat videos, so I'll put all those in the link description below. That's again, one of the video I will also put out, it will be Hero Hill's some video where he talk about the things got worse for English voice actor. That one got that where it's more about the game voice acting along the line. So do check his video out to understand why I decided to do this video, because it's just that it's so damn ridiculous when voice actor make noise, especially Western voice actor, right? So I hope this kind of give you guys an understanding about don't let all whatsoever into your life. Just if you can't do it, don't do it. It's simple. But anyway, if you do like this video, don't forget to press the like button and subscribe for more random chat where I talk about stuff that sometimes never follow a single trend or doesn't make sense. But the one thing I can say is I hope you guys have a nice day or night. Bye!